Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Becky at winzigcreations and I hope you're all doing well. It's a beautiful sunny day here, which always, perks one up, doesn't it? It's awful if you're not feeling good on a sunny day, isn't it? You can't understand why everybody's happy, but let's hope everybody's feeling good. And if you're having a rubbish day, then let's hope this brings you some peace and calm. There we go. I'm doing a Defember member thing. I have trouble saying that word. I think everybody does, don't they? So, I'm not alone in that. I can say it when I'm not on camera, but since I'm on camera, I start struggling, which is very typical, isn't it? So, I'm doing another one of these. I'm doing number 8. Snippets and Grandma's Buttons. I don't know when you'll see this actually. Again, I haven't brought my diary with me. I do have my craft journal, which might actually say when you'll get it. I don't know. Journal log. Here's my journal log. That's the wrong one. Video log. That's what I need. Oh, I'm way ahead of that. Let me just see. 2. I've done 2. Oh. Around, I think you get this around the 20th, around there anyway. Anyway, sorry, I didn't bring my you'll be getting this in a little while, but I'm doing it on the 8th. Anyway, I digress. You'll see it when you see it. Snippets. Well, I'm going to start using this. I'm trying to, with this Defember Ember prompt list, I'm also trying to use up stuff that I've got sitting around. So I'm doing it twofold. I'm using up stuff I've already got and doing this at prompt as well. So I made this a long time ago, and all it is it's just the ends of bits of paper, which we all keep, don't we? Look, the ends of bits of paper, and I was going to use it to edge pages. I had 2. I have only got 1 now, so I thought I would use this to... I'm just going to put a bit of paper under there so I don't get too much... Oops, I just put my hand in glue so I don't get too much. So you can probably see it a bit better, and B, I won't get so much glue on the table. Now I've got various things I want to use. I've got my material scraps here and a lot of lace in here that I want to use up. I've got some leaves out, which I thought would be nice for some of the botanical ones. They might be a bit big, I'll see. And I've got a few of my vintage stuff out in case I want 1 or 2 for my vintage. Now, as always with these, I'll show you how I finished off last time. We are making these, weren't we? What was last time's? It was journaling cards with tiny letters. That's right. So this one, I finished this one. I sewed around it. There's my tiny letters. I'm really pleased with that one. And then there's this one, which has got tiny letters down here. There they are. Very small letters down. You can... And then you saw me make these and that one, and then these 2 aren't finished, but that's the whole point of it. You stop where you can. So those 2 will go in my vintage journal, and this one will go in my stash. So will those 2. So they can all go away. I did promise you I'd show you. And likewise, if I don't finish this, then again you will be showing them at the beginning of the next one. I'm just writing the time down so as not to drag on. So buttons will go on top. I have more buttons than I know what to do with. Got Christmas cards here that I need to get rid of. There we go. These ones in boxes I was given fairly recently, and then I have got some owl ones there. I have a whole stash of them, and they're from all sorts of people. Look at the size of that one, and they're not nice and tidy like Louisa's are in colours, but I probably haven't got anywhere near as many as Louisa. So I haven't decided what I would like to use. Quite a few of these neutral ones on my sorry, brain fog, vintage ones. So there's another one of those sort, so I'll leave that out anyway because I'll probably use them. This actually has handmade with love, but it's actually for knitting. It's got a little ball of knitting there. But they could still be used. There's some diddy ones on there and some sparklies as well. And I put my shell ones in there as well. So put those over there out the way. And then I've got this one, which is, these are lovely, aren't they? These wooden ones. But it depends on whether we're making botanical. So really, I'm just going to have to leave that over there, open as it is. And I do want to use, as I say, some lace, and I want to use, maybe use some of those leaves up. We'll see. So snippets. I've got to decide how long I want each of my snippets, or whether they're going to be one long one. But I think I was going to leave them on the roll, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, because I suppose it won't matter if it's a big roll. Let's see how we get on. Let's see how we get on. First things first, I'm going to pop down a bit of material or lace. So let me get my material and lace one. This is so full, I have got to use some. It's ridiculously full, you know, so we'll get a bit of that out. That I'll probably use. I'd like to use some of that lace. And there's a plainer one there. This would be nice to use a bit of this maybe in there. That's got elastic in it, but I can take some of the elastic out. Might use a bit of that. There's a bit of velvet there. There's a lot of lace in here. This should be almost more like a lace. There's a nice cream piece. That's another piece of the same one. Just getting a few, a bit of muslin, cheesecloth as we call it. Oh gosh, one of those. Might put that on something. And I like these scrappy bits. They're good, aren't they? We'll put that scrappy bit out. Anyway, there's elastic band in here. Oh, that shouldn't be in there. That can go up there. So, I think what I'll do, because it'll get, I'll put these ones that I like right on top so I can get to them. And whoops, put that over here. So, let's put some material on. Let's think in our minds what we're going to do first. Let's do a bit for the vintage one. That'll get us going, won't it? I know what I'm doing. I think I might well have to. I wonder if I should cut them. They're not snippets then. Snippets are like little bits. A bit like clusters snippets. That's what my definition of a snippet is. Anyway, we all call different things, same thing, different names, don't we? Actually, I think I am going to cut them up. I think it'll be easier to orientate them if I cut them up. So there's that. And that's going to cover the whole bit of paper up. But the paper is useful for sticking down. It makes it easier to stick down. But I can always cut that a little bit smaller. So that's that one. Let's cut another one, because we're supposed to be doing... How many shall I do? 2, 3... They're all the same colour, doesn't matter. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, let's do 8. That seems a sensible number to do. So that's going on there. A bit of material on that one, and a bit of material on another one. There we go. This could be completely different to what they had in mind, but I think you just use, well, I call that scrunchy bits. You just use what you feel is your definition and what you've got. I'm just getting a bit of cheesecloth, or muslin, as I think some people call it. It's not going to tear those. I'm going to have to cut it off. And these are not my material scissors, so let's cut it in half as well. And squiggle that around. That can go on there. And can also go on there. I'll put it on that one. There. My mat's a bit busy for this, isn't it? Let's put that underneath it as well. There we are. Right, we need something else now, don't we? I've got a little bit of this stuff here. I think I've got nope, I haven't got a smaller bit. This is embroidery backing. It's just I do like it though, it frays beautifully. That one can go there. And I'm going to leave all these frayed bits on. That can go there. I'll cut off whatever is annoying me in a minute. And so one more, I think. We'll have a bit of... we've got two more, haven't we? So let's have this piece. This piece is already tiny and I'm using up what I've got. So we've got a bit of a neutral base going on there, haven't we? Which is nice. Let's put 4 up there and 4 down here. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Get on there. Right, I'm just sort of sorting the layout at the moment. Then I want a bit of lace on some of them. What lace did I want? I wanted this stuff, didn't I? Because it's quite nice. Let me just... I'm going to have to get my material scissors out because those little ones really just don't want to play ball. So I want to take the elastic off here. There we are. That's a bit big. Let's cut you like that and pop you on there. You're a bit big. Can't see the bit underneath. Lots of layers I'm doing, but there, that's nice. Put you on that one, and you can go on that one. A bit of, you can go on that because you're a bit lighter. You can still see that underneath. It might be bright and sunny, but it's still quite cold. I've got my thick jumper on here. Right, let's do some different lace as well. I've got a lot of it here. Right, that's nice and straggly already. So let's pop you on that one. That's a bit big for that one. Let's cut it down then because it seems a bit big for all of them. Pop you on there. All that straggly. And pop you on there. Let's get another piece. Shall we get a different sort again? Let's get a little piece of this. I've used some of this somewhere else. Sorry, I know you can't see it, but you'll see it when I bring it over. Let me pop that on here. Whoops. That up there. That down there. They're like material clusters, really, these snippets. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Right, this one needs a bit of... I'm not going to put lace on all of them, so those two aren't having lace. There we are. Now they're going to get some material, though. That's the thing. I don't know I've got much material actually in here. I think it's pretty much all coffee dye. I have got some blue, but I don't really want to use blue. No, there's nothing else in there I want to use. Right, I want to use some of these things on some of them. A nice old grand piano. I might put a leaf. I'm going to get my leaves out. See if I can put half a leaf on some of these. I hope you can see all right. These ones might be a tad... Oh, there's a small one. A nice small leaf on. Let's put some leaves on the more botanical ones. Yes, sorry, I don't know if I told you that. I'd like to make a couple of botanical ones. Put that leaf there. Let's split you up a bit, you two. And then I can put a leaf on you. And I'll probably put a few flowers and birds on those. I tend to use the small ones up straight away, and then I'm stuck without any big ones. But I'm stuck with only big ones then. Yeah, they're all too big. Well, I've got 4 with leaves on. That's it. I don't think I've got any more small enough leaves there. I'd have to use my die cuts, which is fine. Fine. I might use these as they're here. I do my own die cutting, but I also buy some occasionally as well. So I've got these here as well, which are lovely. I might cut some of these up and pop them on. Let's pop you there. I'm up to popping again. Oh yes, I like that. And we've got 2 vintage. These are going to be my 2 vintage ones, vintagey anyway. And I think Actually, I think I might put a bit of lace on those. Changed my mind, which is a crafter's prerogative, isn't it? I've got some really, really old lace here. And it is old. Where's my glove? Where's my other scissors? Here we are. There. And there. There we go. That on there, that on there. So, where's my piano? There's my piano, can go there. And I might use a paper button as well as we're doing buttons. I know these aren't great. I will put some buttons on in a minute. That's the whole point of it. Pop you there. Right. You two could go in my vintage pile when I've finished. Now, what should we put on the other? Some buttons. I want more than one though. 1, 2. I want the third one. Now this could be a bit annoying. It's me trying to find. Well, I know what I will like to use. I would like to use some of my owls. One of my owls. Pop him there. He does look a bit scared, doesn't he? Pop him there. There we go. You can go there. Right, I'm just auditioning at the moment, obviously. I'm not sticking anything down. They're nice. Whoops, that's a big one. What else have I got? I've got so much to choose from. It's very difficult. I want another one on there. Let's get a smaller one to go on there. 1, 2. Let's get this one out. This is what I want. Go. Let's take one big one and the big one go down there, and then we'll have a little dark one on there. There, let's show up, and we'll put this nice coloured one on there. I like that snippet. That's nice. That one's done. I've just got to glue it up. Right, let's do you very similar. You can go down there. That's been glued on something before. I don't want you exactly the same, so we'll pop you there, and a pale one on top. There we go. That's those two done. Right, what should we put on this? I want something really vintagey looking, don't I? These are fun. I know it's not what we're doing, but they're quite good fun. I might put one of those on there. There's a button. It probably doesn't look like it's got 2 holes in it. It'd be a button. It's a nice old one, isn't it? Some of these buttons are extremely old, and some of them are new. I tend to use smaller ones on projects. Can you hear me? I tend to use smaller ones on projects like this. Sorry, I've been raking through my... This will be very loud, I remembered now. The ambient sound carries on this. That's a nice one. I think I want a little one on top of there. Ooh, I like that, but I'm going to put him there. I'm conscious of breaking through here and making a lot of noise. I don't want to put any of my too many of these sort. I mean, I can cut that off and glue it on, but because they stand very, like this beautiful one here. I mean, you can cut them off, but they do stand very proud. I don't suppose it matters that much, does it? Does it matter that much if I cut that off? Let me just see if I can get my snippies and cut that off. If I don't cut these off, I'm never going to end up using them, and it's all, I'm using these prompts to, excuse me, I'm just going to do this over here so as not to fling it in the camera or anything. You see, instead of that, I like that. I may not use him. I've got the Diddy one here as well. Look, that's really old. Trying to look through here without making too much noise if I can. These aren't old, but they're lovely. They've got trees on, look. I like that. Nope. Yeah, let's put that on that. Let's put it on that one. It's a big tree. There. That can go on there. Look, I like that. I love those ones. But they are very big. This is a nice... They're all brown, look, all wood. I prefer wooden buttons, I confess I do. I have these really large ones. But I just think they might be too big. Well, I like that with just one on there. I might do that. I might put some thread through these. Not sure about this one now. It's handmade. There's that one. Well, that's exactly the same as the one I've just put on. I love these green ones too, but they're ever so thick and chunky. So we'll have to go for something a bit smaller. That's another nice... No. What have we got here? Oh, that's a nice one. Look at that. It's like shell. That would actually go with this one really well. In that case, it'll probably go with this one too. Probably can't... Oh, I like that size on there. I think I might change the size of that. Although I do like that button. Oops, something's fallen out. Oh, my owls have fallen out. Let's see what else we've got. I'm sorry you can't see this, but you can guarantee if I'd poured some of them into another bowl, I wouldn't have liked them. So I thought it best just to bring the whole thing out. There's this one. I like the dashes round it. No, I'd like to get one the same colour as that, but I don't think I've got one. So again, I think I prefer the smaller buttons, actually. I really do prefer the smaller ones. Oh, he's interesting, isn't he? He's got a bit of metal on him. That is an interesting button. Yeah, prefer that to that. Oh, that looks nice. If it's that can go on that one. I'm wondering if I want to take those off, a couple of those off, and put a flower on there. Thinking. I think I will, yeah. What should we do here? I've only got one with a little picture on. I wanted a few more with pictures on. Let's take that big one off there and see if I can find a little flower to put on there. I'd have to ink that up. But that, oh, I like that with the flower up and the leaf on. That stands out, that does. Which one would look better? Let's swap them over and see which would look better. It's very, I think that one looks better. Right, I want something else on this one as well. Take you two off. I might put you a little one on there. Yeah. I want another flower for this one. I do want to make a couple of botanical ones. It's nice, it's a bit big there. Or even a butterfly would be nice. I think my flowers are a bit... I could get some out of the drawer, but as I've got these here. Watering can? No, it's got poppies on. There, that's nice. That goes with that lovely leaf on top. Right, I'm fairly happy with that. I am fairly happy with that. Let's put this rummaging lace away before it all falls on the floor. Oh, I had a bit of a disaster the other day. I dropped some. Oh, maybe that's why that elastic band went. Sorry if I'm knocking you and making you feel a bit yucky. I dropped one of my baskets on the floor. One like this, full of bits. You know, and I thought, oh, I can't pick them all up now. You know, when you think you're trying to get something done and that happens. Right, come on, big buttons. You're going to have to move because you're too heavy and cumbersome. I don't think you fit in, do you? You might. Oh, yeah. There we go. I'm going to have to move this because it's big and heavy. There, I've got some space on my desk now. I can breathe. Move you over there and let's attack one at a time, shall we? So we want some, get some fabric tack out. I've got a new one somewhere. Here we go. I don't want those anymore, so we'll put those away later. Might need my fabric scissors, I'll see. Right then, let's get cracking with some gluing and sewing. Right, gluing and sewing. I want some thread through these, so let's get a couple of needles out. That one, we should go through all of them. Yes, it should. Just see if my bigger one will. Which has got the smallest holes? This one, I suppose. Will that go through there? Yep. Go through that one. Yep. So we use the big needle then. It will be easier. And I've got little bits I keep, believe it or not. These little bits from when I'm bookbinding, all the cut-offs, because I've had it a bit long or something. And they're really useful for things like this. So I'm going to do that for this one first. What colours? We have black. A lot of them are the same colour, aren't they? I just put it through a couple of times. That might, oh, I'll see if this will go in. I want that through there. Come through. I could probably thread it without the needle, actually. Sorry, can you see what I'm doing? I've pulled it towards me so I could see what I was doing. No, it's a lot easier with a needle. Through there. As long as I've got enough left this side so I can tie a knot. And then we want, oh, really? Drop my needle. Let's do a knot. 1, 2, and then I leave some bits sticking up as well. Not quite that long, but I do leave some sticking up. About that long. No, I don't keep those bits. And then that will go on there. So I'm going to do all my buttons first, because that's what we're doing. We're doing a bit at a time, aren't we? So a lot of these there are some different coloured ones in here, and I do have some. I might put some green on this one actually, because I've got it in here, and it might look quite nice. This is a 4-hole one as well, so let's just do a bit of this green thread as I've got it here. So I hope you all had a lovely weekend. I'm filming this on a Monday, so I do hope you all had a nice weekend, and that you're refreshed for the week ahead. It's a bit manic at this time of year, isn't it? Although by the time you watch this, most of the manic and mania will be over with. You'll be all organised. Are you all organised? When I'm doing this, it's the 8th of December today. No, I'm not organised. I went to wrap my presents yesterday on Sunday afternoon to discover that I didn't have any wrapping paper. Bit daft, wasn't it? I'm thinking about putting one through the other way as well. No, let's just leave it at that. Stop overthinking. Who out there overthinks things? I know I do. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes. If I start this side. No. This side. Go in there. Through there. This is a long piece. I might be able to use this in 2 different ones. Put it along. Yeah, so these little offcuts become very useful. I put them in all my buttons. And because I just tie a double knot like that, they stay there because it's waxed thread. It's usually fairly neutral, so it goes okay. Let's put this. I've got 3 to do on this one though, so I do like buttons with a bit of thread in. Doesn't have to have, but I want to do all 4 of these. There we go. It's a bigger button. I felt like it needed. No, we can put it that way or that way. And I actually like the metal side up. I think the metal side goes down. I'm not sure, but either way. I prefer it facing upwards. Bit of tarnished metal there. So that's that one. Always seems weird to do the same thing over and over again, doesn't it? It does to me anyway, because I'm like a bit like Barbara. I tend to concentrate on one piece, you know. Come through, that's it. Oh, I've done it the wrong way around. Let's put you through there. No, I had done it the right way. I'm confused myself now. Go through there and leave a bit. That's it. That's what I need to do. There we go. So, yeah. Anyway, please feel free to leave a comment. I do read all the comments and I reply to them as well, even if it's something I can't really reply to. I'll still read it and note to you that I have read it. That one's been glued on, so yeah, so I do read them, and I do appreciate them more than you know. They really help me out if you make comments. Yep. And hit that like button for me. I really appreciate it. And it really, oh, I've done this one wrong. Never mind. Let's go back through again and put it back out. Yeah, helps me more than you know, and I really appreciate it. Appreciate all of you and all my new subbies. You know, thank you very much for coming along and joining us. Now, I'll mention it again because, you know, there might be new people here. Next year, I'm changing a few, not much. I'm still doing 3 videos a week. But we're going to do a Mindful Monday. And I've written it down somewhere what we're going to do. It's as much as I can remember at the moment. Perhaps that's a good job, because I need more mindfulness in my life. That much is certain. So much rattles around my brain sometimes. I'm amazed I can actually hold down a conversation. Mind you, one-sided conversations like this are quite easy. Right, I think I'm going to glue my little owl on. So I'm taking this bit off the back. I'm just going to do it over here so I don't, that's it, get you in the face, or it doesn't flick up and hit the camera. So he can, if you haven't got any of these, they're absolutely brilliant, I must admit. They're way, I find them way better than the jewellery ones, you know. Just a little bit stronger. See, now I'm getting warm, so I need to take the jumper off. Well, it's actually my, you probably can't tell on camera, it's my Chewbacca top. And I remember Star Wars when it first came around in the 70s. I was absolutely mesmerised. I've always liked science fiction. And when it first came out, I think it was the 80s actually. I can't fully remember. Yeah, it was the 80s. I'm fairly certain of that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please. Yeah, I was absolutely... I hope you can see, because I've pulled myself forward again so I can see what I'm doing. What was I saying? Star Wars. I was absolutely mesmerised by it because I love science fiction, always have done. So to see this epic film was amazing. I mean, there was no CGI back then and no green screens. At least as far as I'm aware, there wasn't anyway. You know. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. You know, pretty awesome. Well, it still is, I think, still amazing. I liked old sci-fi. I've watched most of them, all the old ones. you know. Does anybody remember Battlestar Galactica? Oh, that was, whoops, sorry. Moving my sheet again. The trouble with having a small piece, it moves. There we go. Where did this come from? There it came from. There, that's them all sewn. Didn't take too long, did it? Right, put my needle back up there, put these away, and then we can move on to the gluing stage. I might actually get these finished, look. Be amazing if I do. So yes, quite handy to keep your little scrap. Well, we all keep scraps, don't we? And if you're new to this, keep your scraps. They're very useful. Right, I'm going to use the dreaded Fabri-Tac. I call it dreaded because I hate getting it on my hands, but it is, it does do the job. So I'm not sewing these. I don't think my sewing machine would like it. So I'm putting that on there. I'm going to get my little spatula thingy out though, if I know where it is. Here it is. Come here, spatula. That seeps through because I put too much on, but it's okay. It won't show. There's hardly any of this to glue down. I have to glue this button on top and hope that helps keep it on. Come on, you're my new one. You should work easily. Another thing you could use is you could use your hot glue gun. Which maybe I should have heated that up actually. Right, let's just put the lid on for a second. Well, there we are. One grandma's button snippet. I like that. They can be any shape you want, snippets, square, round, whatever you want. I just happen to have some of this stuff on a roll, which I thought would be very useful as a base. You know, so that's what I chose to use. Not quite so much this time, woman. You really don't. It's not going to take any weight or anything. Right, this is the stuff that's difficult. A little bit there, a little bit there. I'll put a bit on you. Oh, hang on. Before I put you on, I'm going to tone you down a bit. Not very much. There's not much ink on this brush, but it's just enough. That was down there, wasn't it? And the button was at the top. I'll use you as I've got the Fabri-Tac out. I'll use it. These aren't my grandma's buttons. There might be somebody's grandma's buttons, but my grandparents died quite young. I didn't really know my grandparents. I knew one of my granddads, but my father was an orphan by the time he was about 9. So I never knew them, that side of the family, sadly. So, but my mum's dad, I met, you know, I knew him. And ooh, lace. You know, I never met his first wife, so who was my grandmother, you know. I really only got into the one, but no, I managed, I survived. You don't miss what you haven't had, do you? Even my lads now, they don't have any my own sons don't have any grandparents anymore because I lost my mum. Oh, in 2021, I think it was. During COVID, I know that. It's very strange to, well, as many of you out there who already know, it's lose a parent, I must admit. I lost both mine now. There we go, that's nice. And let's change the subject to something a bit nicer, not so morbid. This is Christmas time. Let's not do morbid. You know what I mean. So, oh, I have at least finished my Christmas cards. If anybody wants any more now, or if I need to do any more now, they're going to have to be bought ones, because I don't feel like making any more. I just haven't been in the mood for making them this year. I have made quite a few. I made about 14 or 15 for immediate family and friends. Put a bit more effort, but you know, the people you send a card to, and that's your only communication, is that you send a card once a year, you know. I'm afraid they got, except for one couple, they got bought ones. Which seems sacrilege to me to buy cards, but sometimes there isn't enough hours in the day to make them. I could even make one of my best friends one this year, because it was her birthday yesterday. Hi, Karen. And if you're watching, I even sent her one, you know, and didn't even make her one, sadly. Oops, there's a bit too much glue on that. Let's hope that dries up all right. You watch Barbara and Louisa will do something. This is probably completely wrong, but Louisa and Barbara are probably doing something completely different to this. It's probably not what they meant, but as they, I was watching Crafty Cat last night, and as she was saying, you can't really go wrong. There's no rules with junk journaling, which I love. So somebody can't say to you, well, that's not what that is, because it's what you make it to be. You know, it's what you... It's a bit like life, really. Life is what you make it, isn't it? And I mean, sometimes it throws you a massive curveball. I know I've had a few in my life, but you know, you just have to grit your teeth and get on with things sometimes. And that's what I love about this. There's no gritting of teeth. There's no woes. It's just great fun. Whoa, really good fun. Can you see those that I've put over there? I can never sure what you can and can't see. I hope you can see me doing this as well. Oh, that bit's coming off. Let's take it off. This is very therapeutic, I might add. I don't know what you're doing, guys, but this is really therapeutic. What's the next one? Altered envelopes and coffee mug stains. Oh, that I love doing altered envelopes, so that's good. Which is the right side? I think that's the right side. I'm hardly putting any glue on this. It only needs a tiny bit to keep it on. I want bits a little bit loose, you know. Come on, a leaf. These aren't real leaves. I do have some real ones, but dried leaves are very crackly, I find. I got these owls ages ago just because I thought they were sweet. And I thought, I am gonna use one. There you go, little owl. Sit on that leaf. Yeah. So how are we going to use these? Well, you can either decorate something with it. So you can either like decorate a tag, or I would probably use them to decorate a tuck or a corner tuck or something like that. So as you put a bit of card in the corner, which is plain, and then you can put one of these on top. They would also make quite nice page tabs. They would make good page tabs. Oops. Oh gosh, my glue is very wispy. I'm going to have to clean the lid. You're not happy. I need a tissue. Sorry about the noise. I need one of these baby wipes. And it's I have a pegboard at the back of my desk, and I keep a lot of things on it. Yeah, that's why I have to stretch across. Last one. Whoops, that's my button. I mean, these would be ideal to sew down. I just decided not to on this occasion. Like I said, I sewed on the others, but on the other stuff I've made, I just didn't feel like it. I don't know why. Nope, didn't feel like it. The whole point of junk journaling. Oh, look at all those strings. I'm going to have to move them all. Get off. Get off. If you haven't got any of these silicone things, these silicone brushes and things, absolutely wonderful things. But when it comes to Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 or whatever you want to, or Fabrifix, or this is Beacon 3-in-1, which is, I have no idea why they all have different names, but put that at the bottom. And they are all pretty much the same thing, but hey, there's bound to be some reason behind it. There, whoops, that was on the edge. There are all my my snippets. Aren't they cute? I like them. I'm going to leave them to dry for a bit. So I think they're okay. There we are. Snippet rolls. That's number snippets and grandma's buttons. As I was given a lot of these buttons by different people, I'm sure some of them belong to a grandma at some point. Well, some of my mum's, and she was a grandma, but as I say, I didn't have any grandmothers, so I couldn't really get them off my grandma, but somebody's. Anyway, I enjoyed that very much. It was very therapeutic and very calming. So I think I know it's not quite as long as normal, but I think I'll leave it there. And see you on the next one. I think I'll be doing the altered envelopes soon. And might even do it today, but you won't see it straight away. So that won't make any difference to you. Yeah. Okay, guys. Keep safe. And look after yourselves, all right? Take care. Bye.